Okay, so here's the deal today. We have finished with small group, and we are now going to go on to our unit on speaking. This is the unit that you've all been waiting for, I know.
A little bit.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't need to speak. He's going to still go around. We're going to have to possibly still do it.
There we go. This is the unit you've all been waiting for, I know. You all are looking forward with great anticipation to public speaking. Before we get to it, however, let's see what we have to do between now and then. Now today, our paper on reflection on self and other in the group is due. I've already been contacted by one person for an extension, and that is certainly possible, but you need to talk to me beforehand. And if you need to ask for an extension, do it at the end of class.
No.
Okay, Matt.
Is the LMS working yet?
We'll find out in secondary. It looks like it's up.
Okay.
Was it having some problems?
Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Yeah. Last week it was it crashed, and there are still moments at which it works like you're pushing data through mud. But we're gonna have to work on that as best we can. You will have time beyond today. If you don't get it in today, you will have time beyond today. If you talk to me, you have time beyond today without a penalty. If you don't talk to me, there will be a penalty assessed, and oh, it is frightful. My goal here is to fail everybody. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh man, that's so weak.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm a terrible person.
You're an evil man.
Unit 3, Unit Exam 3 is also up, and you have a week to take that. And it is 25 questions, each worth 2 points. It's a 50-point quiz.
That's worth 49.
Yeah, it's worth 49 points. Because the last section, everything is worth 3 points rather than 2 points.
What if I go to the last quiz?
We can talk about the last quiz. Said, what's your objection to the last quiz? Okay. Comment heard. We'll take it into account.
Does anyone else think that they're doctoring the grade they deserve on those things?
Yeah, I got a pretty crappy grade.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever scored a 20 on those things, on those quizzes.
Well, if you've never scored a 20, no one else has ever scored a 20. That means that the quiz is too high.
I beg to differ.
That means that the instructor must take that into account. And it will. I am taking this into account. I am taking this into account, people. Do not sweat your quiz grades. I am taking it into account. The new quiz covers only the chapters on small group, which are chapter 8 and 9. Yeah, chapters 8 and 9. The syllabus says 9 and 10, but that's the old chapter numbering. Okay. I'm taking into account the fact that no one did very well on quiz 2.
That's
However,
correct.
quiz 3 covers the concepts that we worked on. It covers a great deal on these leadership roles. A great deal on leadership roles. One section is on groups in general, and then the rest is on leadership roles. It's all multiple choice. You have, well, let me take a look.
November 11th is what the email said.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Quiz number 3, 11:10, 11:55 p.m.
On the email you sent us today, November 11th.
You notice that that our next class participation exercise will be Thursday, when we'll be working on specific purpose, central idea, and outline. We'll be working on that in class. You can bring your notes if we'll get that far. And then the paper, small group roles due today at 11. Okay?
Yeah.
We went through that. If you've forgotten what is supposed to be on that paper, the front page. Does not yet have day 18. I have to get day 18 off the other section and put it up. But day 18 will be up before noon today. If you need to review, it's in 2 parts, and one part is just about the paper. You need to review. You ready to go on? Excellent. We want to look at speaking. I know this is something that many of you have been looking forward to with great anticipation. You want to get up and do that speech. You want to be there. You want to be part of the world of public address. November 6th through November 29th. In other words, here's what's going to happen. This week and next, we're going to be working on our speeches, both in class and outside of class. We'll have 2 weeks of working on it. Then we will not speak until we come back from Thanksgiving break. We'll give the 5 to 7 minute speeches on the 27th and 29th.
What day do we come back?
We will not have class on the 20th.
That can't be. That'd be a Saturday.
I will be here to help people work through things. That's Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
So wait,
Yes.
what did you just say about the Tuesday before Thanksgiving?
Oh, some very important stuff.
We won't have class? That's what you said?
Some very important stuff.
Really
I
won't?
get to go home.
So like we have class. We're supposed to have class
Friday then.
on Monday and Tuesday. We don't have class on Tuesday.
No, it's not Tuesday. We have class on Monday.
I will be in this classroom on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I will be here to help you get those last bits of preparation ready before you go home, where your only task for this class will be to rehearse your speech. Practice it on your family. At Thanksgiving dinner, instead of going immediately to the ball game and watching the Lions beat up on somebody. The Lions are really amazing this year. They're actually winning games.
Yeah,
What's the Cowboys and the Jets?
Well, that's later in the afternoon, so you have plenty of time before the Cowboys and Jets to get your family together and say, family, I want you to listen to my speech. That'll be a great practice before you come back. On Thursday of this week, I will give you the order of speakers. Actually, you will give you the order of speakers. I will have my hat with my 19 numbers, and you will each draw out a number. And that number will be your order in the speeches.
When we come back from Thanksgiving break, how many? Is it like the first class period we have of this when we give our speeches?
Yeah, the first one we get back will be the first speaking, be that Tuesday and that Thursday of the week that we're back.
I volunteer to go first. I just supposed to go first.
Can I volunteer to go second?
No,
Yeah,
I'm a good
absolutely.
speaker.
Absolutely.
Talk about football.
Absolutely. You guys can be 1 and 2, and we'll start with number 3.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, that's mean.
No, we'll start drawing numbers with number 3.
That's funny. So we have a turn that we write it to him? I don't think so.
It'll be 10 one day, 9 the other, or 9 one day, 10 the other. That 10th speaker, that one that's on the bubble, will have to be ready to go the first day, but might not get to go until the second. Say 5 to 7 minutes informative speech. A 5 to 7 minute informative speech. And today's task in speaking is simply to introduce the task of getting ready to speak and to brainstorm about the topic and to be ready to go on to purpose and central ideas. So let's look that far in the DeVito text, shall we? Let's do that. I'm excited by that idea. And I know you are too.
Informative.
All right, Chapter 10 in the 6th edition, Chapter 11 in the 5th. Chapter 10 deals with the essentials of public speaking. And the first part, Chapter 10 in particular, deals with steps 1 to 6 in getting ready for your speech. Chapter 11 deals with steps 7 to 9 in getting ready for your speech. Chapter 12, which is the only other chapter and the last chapter you need to read in this book, deals with the informative speech. So we're going to, over the next several days, be dealing with each of these chapters. Today we will not get all the way through Chapter 10. We'll only get to the steps. The first step, says the meter. Can you guys see that halfway decently?
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
Maybe I ought to take out a couple more lines. Let me take out the back lines. Take out the front lines. Is that better? Yeah. The first steps, 6 steps, are to analyze. You know, this is the last of the 6 steps. Let me get to my page here. This PowerPoint was prepared by the people at Longman, A.B. Longman, the publisher of the text. It is not prepared by Mr. DeVito himself. His blog, however, which I've referenced at least once before, is something that he does. So if you want to see what his thinking is, you can go on to his blog at Blogspot. You are welcome to use a PowerPoint as part of your informative speech. For many people, this helps quell some of the anxiety. Having a visual aid in general helps quell some of the anxiety, and you are welcome to do that as well. Do not, however, follow this PowerPoint slavishly. There are a number of things in this PowerPoint that are tools that Microsoft has created that are just not very useful. And I will point those out as we go, and I'll point out why they're not terribly useful. DeVito presents getting ready for a speech as a series of steps. Steps you should take. If you look at the book, he says at the very beginning, there are 9 steps. I'm going to go through them. And then he takes off in another direction. You wonder what happened. In our first steps, he says, select the topic, analyze the audience, formulate our thesis, and identify the major propositions, research the topic, support your propositions, organize your speech materials. All of those are important points along the way to getting that speech ready to go. However, when you actually get down to it, you may not get things in that neat a package. When you first settle on your topic, you may, in fact, the whole speech may occur to you, and it may direct your research. Or it may be that you think you have a topic, and once you start doing research, the topic shifts. Don't let it change. Don't go from the amount of homework that is being asked of college students and their success at performing it to atonal music, because you don't have time to do those 2 bits of research. But it is possible to begin by saying, I want to talk about the amount of homework that is being asked of contemporary college students and the other pressures on their lives. And as you move along, realize that the other pressures, that is the pressure to participate, the pressure to conform, and the pressure to have a job, are in fact far more draining of college student energies than the homework. And you change your topic, and you are now talking about the other pressures on college students rather than the pressure of homework. That's fine. You don't have time to go from college students to music all in one fell swoop. So even if you start out on something and you don't absolutely love it by the time you do your research, stick with it anyway. Stick with it anyway. It's better than changing the night before you're to give your speech. The steps are all included, but they don't all come in this orderly fashion. You may decide on your thesis or your central idea much earlier. And as if to show us that in fact it's the case, Mr. DeVito inserts, or actually the office assistants, insert a couple other slides along the way before we get to what the steps actually are. One is just a general bit of information about what is public speaking. As we think about communication studies in general, we begin with intrapersonal, how we talk to ourselves. We move on to interpersonal, how we talk to one other person, then to small group, and then to a large group. More than 12 people. More than 12 people becomes a situation of public address. It's most like a sales talk, as he says. It's most like preaching or a company presentation, all of which you may not be called upon to preach very often, but you will be called to make sales talks, to do something, or to make a company presentation throughout your careers. Now, lots of folks have this problem. Stage fright. Speech anxiety. There is a quiz in the chapter, in chapter 10, that you can get out and take a look at. The likelihood is that most of you will, not all of you, but most of you will score at least a minimal level of stage fright, which is a score of 18 or above. Some of us will score off the scale. Some of us need to work on stage fright. Others of us have pretty well found ways around our stage fright. Nobody loses stage fright entirely, right? What was the thing that scared you most on Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Most people on stage, an actual stage presentation, did you have any of this, are, before they go on, worried that they will forget some of their lines. Yes? Particularly when you have, Brianna in the show she did last year had a very heavy line load. Very heavy line load. There were only 3 people, and or 4 people, and she was on stage almost all the time. No, you were on stage all the time in that show. Yeah. And just line after line after line. Heavy line load. It's hard to remember, and you get nervous about it. Am I going to be in the right place? Am I going to forget something? I'm feeling so stupid. Stage fright can be conquered. One of the helps for it are these 2 20-minute videos. Each of them is about 20 minutes. If you have stage fright, if you see yourself as having speech anxiety, these are on reserve over in the library. This one is called The No-Brainers Video Guides to Life, Classroom Edition, Conquering Stage Fright. It's humorous. It uses some people who I've actually known, so they're genuine people. They're not actors. They're communication people. They try to conquer stage fright by making light of it and then giving you some principles. It's not the greatest one I've ever seen, but it's good. This is a little more serious treatment. It's called Speaking with Confidence, number 5, Anxiety. It's 30 minutes. It's from educational media, and it's a more serious attempt to give you principles that will help you conquer the stage fright. But giving you the principles is not enough. You've got to take what you read here, take what you read in the book, and actually try some of those strategies. Deep breathing, visualizing, repetition, practice. Practice. This is why when I said to you, try it out on your family at Thanksgiving, I was serious. Try it out on your roommates. Get a group together in the dorm. Practice is the most important part of overcoming speech anxiety. These are on reserve as of noon today.
Come on.
So now we go on to, the actual steps, the stages. You may not have noticed this. You know, I come to the discipline of communication studies really from rhetoric. And in rhetoric, we don't have lists and numbered lists and ladders and pyramids. You may have noticed communication studies really likes ladders and pyramids and numbered things. You remember the ladder of listening, the steps in becoming a better listener. Well, now we have the pyramid. This is in your book, the pyramid of preparation. First step is to select your topic and purpose, to analyze your audience, research your topic, etc. We're going to do some of that in each of the next classes, but you need to be doing the research after today. You need to be doing the research on your proposed topic. So the very first thing is we're going to select a topic. Select a topic. You notice that the people who put together this slide presentation really like transition. They get annoying. It's just the simplest transitions are the best. If you're going to do PowerPoint, the simplest transitions are the best. They also put too many words on the slides. When you put as many words on the slides as you're seeing on these, your temptation with PowerPoint is to read your topic. Choose a topic that interests you by creating lists and reading the news and brainstorming. You can read. I don't want to do that to you. Fewer words. Fewer words is always better. I wanted to leave this because these are the two most common mistakes that people make with PowerPoint. Too many words, too many transitions. Simple transitions, if you use any. It's fine to have no transitions whatsoever. It is good if you're going to just use keywords to have those words appear when you need them and not before. So, brainstorming the topic. We did brainstorming as part of our small group work. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Okay, do you remember the topics you came up with? Okay, now you're going to do it seriously. So, let's go back to those groups that we had this morning that presented these roles and added the people who were not here to do that role play. Now let's put group 1, self-select people, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Remember the rule of brainstorming. Every idea, no self-censorship, no other censorship at first. You have 5 minutes to come up with as complete a list of topics as you possibly can. The idea here is to just stimulate your thought
Right here.
to potential topics. What did I go ahead and stop the camera, please?
Are you guys still going to film it?